The Dutch economy unrevealed secrets. Despite having only 17 million inhabitants, the Netherlands is ranked as the 17th largest economy in the world in terms of GDP. Interesting, right? This is one of the amazing facts about the Dutch economy. The Netherlands has the reputation of a rich country. Despite its small territory, the Netherlands is a true giant when it comes to health and wealth. It is indeed peculiar that such a tiny country has been doing well economically for so long. What is their unrevealed secrets? Hey everyone, welcome back to Countries as Economies Explained. Make sure to like and subscribe. And to quench your curiosity about the secret behind the Netherlands' riches, stay tuned till the end. The Netherlands is one of the richest countries and one of the 20 largest economies in the world. According to the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank, the country has the 18th largest economy in the world. It is a member of the European Union, Eurozone, Schengen Area and NATO. According to the Human Development Index, in 2013, the Netherlands occupied the prestigious 4th place in the world. And the list goes on and on. But what makes Dutch economy so powerful, successful and rich? What is the golden history of the people of the Netherlands? But before getting on to that, let me ask you something. You must be wondering, what is the relation between the Dutch economy and the Netherlands as we are denoting them all together, right? The Dutch are famous for being very direct and straightforward people. You want gay rights? You got it. Want to split the bill? You got it. You want to have unlimited flavors of cheese to choose from? You got that tenfold. Everything seems pretty simple here until you start asking specific questions like one above. But don't worry, we've got you covered. Do you know what demonym means? The name used for the people who live in a particular country, state, or other locality. Californians are people who live in California. Frenchmen live in France, and so on. But what about the demonyms that are seemingly random? Yes, that's the Netherlands case. Before we dig into this demonym, there are 3 terms we need to define. Holland, the Netherlands, and Dutch. The Old English cousin to Dutch, Theor or Theode, simply meant people or nation. This also helps explain why Germany is called Deutschland in German. Over time, English-speaking people used the word Dutch to describe people from both the Netherlands and Germany, and now just the Netherlands today. So, having that sorted, let's move on with the unrevealed secrets and the golden history of the Netherlands. Every country has its era of greatness, the Age of Enlightenment. The Dutch Golden Age spanned 150 years. 1600 to 1750, and exhibitions in museums throughout Amsterdam bring the era's characteristics of prosperity and greatness into focus. They are surprisingly applicable today. But how did they get here? The land was originally inhabited by Germanic tribes. A portion of the land became a Roman province that was conquered by Julius Caesar in the 1st century BC. Later, the land became part of the Empire of the Franks, then the House of Burgundy, and eventually became part of Habsburg Empire. In the 16th century, the land came under Spanish rule and the Dutch revolted. Their leader was Willem of Orange, and in 1581, the Republic of the United Netherlands was formed. During the 17th century, the Netherlands became an international power known for its strong navy. The Dutch Empire expanded throughout the world through various colonies on nearly every continent. Also during this time, the arts in the Netherlands was at its peak, with notable artists such as Rembrandt and Vermeer. In later years, Dutch power declined. Wars with Spain, France, and England weakened the country. In the 1900s, the Netherlands tried to stay neutral during both world wars. They managed to avoid getting involved in the First World War, but in World War II they were occupied by Germany. After World War II, most of the Netherlands' remaining colonies were granted independence. And since then, they have been stretching their arm toward growth and prosperity. The Dutch locals and their neighbors may joke about the flatness of the Netherlands, but each and every square meter of the flat, fertile earth of the Netherlands is put to greater use. So let's talk about the secret facts which make them so prosperous and successful in the world. Port of Rotterdam, one of the largest in the world. Rotterdam is a very important city for the economy of the Netherlands. It is famous for its harbour, which is one of the greatest and busiest in the world. It plays a very important role in the export and import of goods and raw materials, not only in the Netherlands, but in Europe as a whole. Although it is located in the Netherlands, it is often called the largest German port because of its extreme importance to the economy of Germany. In fact, most of the raw materials needed to support the highly developed German industry arrived through the port of Rotterdam. The port is able to serve even the largest vessels on the planet. Every year, it brings the Dutch economy direct revenues accounting to hundreds of millions of euros. You must be curious to know about their major exports, right? Refined petroleum. Refined petroleum accounts for 8.52% of the Netherlands' total annual exports. The country is ranked as the fourth largest exporter with a 6.23% share of an annual global export market worth $753 billion. Scrap iron. The Netherlands is the fifth largest exporter of scrap iron and enjoys a 7.44% share of an annual export market worth $41.6 billion. Tomatoes. Only Mexico, 24.8%, exports more tomatoes than the Netherlands, 20%. When you include Spain, 12.6%, these three countries account for almost 60% of the total annual tomato trade of $9.26 billion. The Netherlands has committed to sustainable agriculture, which means tomato growers are among the farmers in the country who have managed to work toward the goal of producing twice as much food while using half as many resources. Aluminium. The Netherlands has a 4.81% share of the annual 61.1 billion raw aluminium market, and it is the seventh largest exporter in the world. It is also the fastest growing importer of raw aluminium, currently ranking in fourth place. The list goes on, but above are the majors. The next pearl in the necklace of Netherlands' success is their well-developed industry. Similar to Japan and South Korea, the country is poor in resources. Although it is forced to import almost all raw materials it needs, the Netherlands has a highly developed industry. There are no mines in the Netherlands from which raw materials can be extracted, for example, for the metal industry. The majority of the raw materials used in the Dutch industries are imported. But what makes the industrial sector of the Netherlands so great is that the Dutch have a lot of knowledge about how to make things. The Dutch produce everything that they need. The Netherlands imports raw materials at affordable rates and turns them into exports of high-quality goods, produced in their well-developed industries. Next one is that the Netherlands invests in new innovative technologies. The Dutch reap the benefits and will keep on reaping the benefits of their smart investments. The nation has large investments in the sectors of medicine, technology, education, green energy, novel agriculture, and products. The Dutch investments in what really matters are the driving force of its economy. In the future, too, their smart investments will keep the Netherlands ahead of other nations. You will be fascinated to know that the Netherlands' economic score is 79.5, making its economy the 8th freest in the 2022 index. The Netherlands is ranked 5th among 45 countries in the Europe region, and its overall score is above the regional and world averages and has a GDP of $914 billion according to the latest recorded figures. This equates to a GDP per capita of $53,024. And even if you don't count on GDP for measurement of success, the next one is for you. The Netherlands ranked as the world's 6th happiest country, according to the 2020 World Happiness Report. The annual study ranks 156 countries, taking into account factors such as healthy life expectancy, freedom, trust, corruption, and social support. And it appears that the jovial Dutch have plenty to be thankful for, scoring high levels of social and institutional trust as well as social connection. Amazing, right? But somehow the Dutch economy slowed from 2017 to 2019, turned negative in 2020. But why? I don't think we need to answer that. The rapid spread of COVID-19 to nearly all parts of the world has posed enormous health, economic, environmental, and social challenges worldwide. In the absence of effective drugs or vaccines, social distancing, surgical masks, washing hands, and other preventive measures are presented as the only ways to fight the spread of the virus. But the most important measure among them was lockdown, which is among one of the options suggested by WHO to reduce the spread of the virus. Lockdown hit Netherlands exports very badly. The Dutch economy is expected to have contracted by 4.1% in 2020 as the COVID-19 pandemic and the related restrictions significantly affected the economy. Following a nationwide lockdown in the spring, a strong rebound started in the third quarter of 2020, but was interrupted by a second wave of COVID-19 infections in the autumn. The associated reintroduction of containment measures and their progressive tightening since October have constrained economic activity, particularly in contact-dependent services in hospitality, retail trade, entertainment, and transport. As a result, the Dutch economy is forecast to enter another technical recession, contracting by 1.3% QOQ and 1.0% QOQ in the fourth quarter of 2020 and the first quarter of 2021, respectively. On the positive side, government support measures are said to continue operating until the summer of 2021, protecting employment and disposable incomes. Anyhow, given the strong recovery in the global trade, net exports are said to contribute positively to GDP growth over the forecast horizon. So what do you think about this amazing country? What are the other unrevealed secrets about the economy that makes it unique? Share your views in the comment section below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel for more such amazing and informative videos. This was all for today. We'll see you in the next one. Until then, peace.